was on the wrong side of the road when I saw them, so I thought they were there this week, I'd get them. I did. So yesterday, I was like, okay, go for a sprint, but not too early. I had to be close enough so I could kick in the sign to see how fast I was going. So I came off the hill, and I was starting to go for a bit of a burn before I hit the Yahoo button and really you go into a super sprint. Because remember, like, when you watch the Tour de France, the guy's going to a sprint from like here to the end of the curve there. That's like 300 yards, right? But 900 feet. They'll do it. And they'll go into a super sprint, and they could do that. Why? Because their bikes weigh 15 pounds. On a 50-pound bike, you're going from here to my client's, you go 50, 100 feet, and you're burnt, right? You're going to lose speed. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to cut the grass there today. It's not. I'll leave it a week. No use cutting it and having it burn, so. But anyway, so I was coming around the corner, I was getting my speed up. I must have been doing about 60, 65 coming down the hill. And I was like, okay, that's a good cadence. If I can just keep up the cadence. But my cadence went a little bit too high for my gearing. So I wasn't able to keep up to it, right? Which meant I was kind of over spooling a bit, and not completely, but a bit, which was burning up my energy. So by the time I went into my sprint, I only did 30 kilometers an hour. But everything fired, all the muscles were firing, and it was just like, if I would have timed it a little bit better, I probably, because the highest I seen on this was 45 kilometers an hour. Now you got to think of the feet of that. Short gearing, bike too small, and really heavy. Like all the attributes you don't want in a sprint, right? And I still hit 45. So I'm like, well, what happens if I time it right? Well, if I time it right, my goal is to hit 60 kilometers an hour on this thing on a sprint, just to say I can. Because when I get the Petechia going with the proper wheel on there, that 10 speed with the 52 man gears in the front, the 52 the 52 ring. And if you've never ridden a 52 ring or a 50 ring, I think the biggest I've ever ridden was a 50. Those are man gears. Those are man gears. 46 is man gears. And 46 is kind of like the top of the sissy gears, right? But those are man gears. But you fly. I don't know what was on the Peugeot. I never counted it, but I'm assuming it was probably like, well, maybe it was a 52 or something, or 53, whatever it was. Because everything on that bike was just optimized for flat line, flat out afterburner speed. And it was cool. So I'll only probably try like one super sprint a week, just because I don't want to hurt myself, unless I know for sure I got the next 2 days off. So today is Friday, but I don't know if I have tomorrow off, because like my legs are a little bit spongy. That Bob, I can't. Bob will have to ride on the handlebars. Yeah, it looks like Bob. Yeah. Let's see if you want. Yeah, see if he wants to ride on the handlebars. You want to ride on the handlebars? I'll be safe, I promise. Have a good one, eh? Yeah. Yeah. See, I think this, whichever side of the road is safer is what I take. So I wish the whole way out to Kaz would be like this. Then I never have to go on the road. But getting back to the big ring. So I spend most of my time in the big ring on the flats as much as I can. When it's really windy, I gear down one, just to, because especially on these bikes, for whatever reason, as soon as there's like the puff of wind, it's like, it's just absolutely bleeds off all your speed. I mean, you got non-aero tires, they're meant for going through the gravel and stuff like that. So like up here, the bike side are going to make the most sense. Like that kind of a headwind, like it's different if I have the next day off. I'll push, but my goal is to get the gearing right to maintain, say, 30 kilometers an hour at something like 30 RPM, which I know that's a ridiculous order right there, but you know, for long endurance like this, not for racing, just for commuting, right? So I'm probably doing about 30 RPM now, right? So why? Conserving my energy. Why? Because I got to work. Yeah. But when I don't have to conserve my energy, that's when I can do the crazy stuff, right? And you can't. Past them coming in yesterday, past them going out today. Yeah. Not sure who it is. But anyway, like I've had a character development since something I got to talk about. I don't know if I have enough time to talk about it, but since I started cycling, and everybody knows that my vehicles are broken down and I'm cycling, I'm getting like people that really have a lot of respect for me, because it's like because they're like, the guy cycles all that way, works, and then comes back, right? Now it's not like the city, right? Like, because they're like, everybody says the same thing. What about the trucks? And when they say trucks, they're not talking about pickup trucks, they're talking about the log trucks. Like, does that not freak you out? I'm like, no. Yeah. You know, it's called law of tonnage. As long as you respect law of tonnage, you should be okay. Although I did have one truck really close to me there. My camera died before he went by. He was coming up too fast on the other guy, and he had to kind of go around a bit. Now I was over on the other side, over the white line, so no problem. But it was like, yeah, I think he scared the shit out, because the person he was behind, like I could hear his Jake brake go, and that's why I moved over so far. But he had to swerve out. And I know one of my commenters said that, Reg, is you know, somebody passing somebody else is who's going to clip you, and I understand your concept there for sure. Like I get that. I know exactly what you're saying. Washboard. That washboard there will make your freaking dentures fall out, even if you don't have dentures. It's just like right here. The rest is not bad, but right there, the washboard is just horrible. Oh, I'm gonna get dusted. But anyway, bottom line is, yeah, getting the gearing right is so important, right? But the bikes that are gonna make the most sense up here is mountain bikes, gravel bikes, and hybrids, right? That's the most common sense thing you can do. But then again, when have you seen me do something with common sense, right? Keep your comments to yourself. Yeah. Anyway, the point I'm making is that I came up from town on a mountain bike with no front derailleur. It's 100K. Took me 6.5 hours. All those hills going through basically Wakefield and all that. And it's just all like a roller coaster, right? And I did it in 6.5 hours, taking my time. But I did it on a mountain bike that was more fitted to me. Now, I thought I had thrown that mountain bike out, but I may have given it to my brother. And I gave him a mountain bike for sure that needed a pedal. I know that. And that one was actually I think it's a giant aluminum frame and all that. And I'm thinking I used the parts off the Specialized to do that, but that Specialized washboard, that Specialized, the thing about that bike is that it fit me better, and it had slightly taller wheels. It wasn't hybrid wheels on it, but it was taller wheels than this, which means, you know, better rolling resistance, lesser rolling resistance for a faster ride for commute, and in a slightly more upright position where I can get fitted a little bit better on the bike. Like, this thing is pretty close, but it's the reach and the reach in the stack is too, like, you would think closer would be better, but like I say, it isn't. When you go for a sprint, you're almost over the front end. And that's not good. You know, like sometimes it's good, but you know, like you're always over the front end. You can't, and if you try to come back a bit, you're in an awkward position where you can't sprint. Because you're moving your legs like back like this, right? So, bottom line, the bike's just too small. Which, considering the seat I have on this thing, I should be completely sore. Now, the first time I rode this thing, I didn't have it anywhere near dialed in the way I do now, and that nearly killed me. My knees were sore for like 3 days. My back was sore because the seat was too low. Everything like that. What I don't get is the gentleman that owned this before he passed, God rest him, he was like 6'2". I don't know how he could have rode this thing, like, unless he only rode it like, you know, 5 minutes and that was it. But like, even then it'd be like a clown bike for him. Like, I mean, I'm 5'8", 5'9", and it's too small for me. You know what I mean? So he was like 6'2". How the heck did he, and a lot heavier than me. I'm holding at about 170. I usually bounce between 167 and 170, depending on how strenuous my week is, right? But thing is like, my body to fat ratio, yeah, I got a belly, but it's not like it's a belly that's going to disappear